What's good, y'all? Listen, this is the third try on this damn thing. The third try. Third time's a charm. I guess we're gonna use that in this scenario. What's good? Please first like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments down below how you felt about the movie that we're gonna be reviewing today called The Mortuary Collection. It's a Shudder original. Came out a couple days ago on Shudder. On the 15th, if I'm right. And first off, let me say, I'm gonna say this. This was one of the best damn movies I've seen in a while. In a very long while. Especially dealing with anthology, the anthology format and all that. Now, as we know, it's October. Halloween season, and I'm gonna tell you now, as soon as the first day of fall hits, to me, it's Halloween. As y'all should know by now, fall is my favorite season ever, and Halloween is my favorite holiday ever. Now, with this jewel of a darn anthology, I'm gonna say this. It gave me Creep Show, Tales of the Dark Side. What else? Amazing Stories kind of vibe. All them old school back in the day, 80s anthology shows and everything that I used to watch when I was a kid growing up, when they used to scare the hell out my ass. This gave me that in a sense. The storytelling, the writing was tight. The effects were good. The gore was on point. And I very much enjoyed it. I really did. Now, we have Montgomery Dark. He's the mortician. You just say he's our narrator in a sense. Now, he's played by Clancy Brown. Now, when I first saw Clancy Brown, pull up, he looking like Montgomery Dark, I was like, wait a minute. Are you auditioning to be the tall man? Because I'm not going to lie. He was giving me tall man from Phantasm Tees. He was straight up giving me that. Now, if they decide to do a reboot of that whole franchise, y'all might need to call up Clancy. Because he was giving me all of that. I don't know how. I wonder how he would sound saying boy. I don't know. Because, he going to have to get that right and everything. But, yeah. Now, this story, the group of stories, is based out of this town called Ravens Inn. It's like a port town, a seaside town, probably somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. Let's just say something. Let me tell you about this Pacific Northwest miss. This is what I'm thinking it probably was located. Pacific Northwest have its own lore and everything, kind of like the South have its own lore, mythology or whatnot. And let's just say Ravens Inn is kind of strange. Ravens Inn ain't like a normal ass small town. It's some weird shit going on. Now, at the start of this movie, the frame story which stars Montgomery Dark, that's set in the 80s. So they're set in the 80s. But throughout the whole film, we jump in decades. Now, the first installment, the first true story, starts in the 1950s. Then we go 1960s. Then we go to the 70s. And then we come back to the 80s. Now, during this whole time in the frame story, a serial killer is back out on the loose called the Tooth Fairy Killer. So that mug is out causing hell. And Montgomery Dark, he is officiating over this funeral of this young boy who was one of the victims of the Tooth Fairy Killer. Now, After he has this, now here's this thing with Montgomery Dark. He loves storytelling. It's all about telling stories and all that stuff. It seems like that's what his main purpose is to tell stories. So after the funeral happens or whatnot, meet this girl named Sam. Now, it's supposed to be a help wanted. A new job position that opened up, right? So Sam's there and all, and I'm trying to remember, how did they get to the point of where he gets to tell all these stories? I'm not for sure. I don't remember. But we go into these stories. Now between each segment, it's like, Sam, she gives her how she feel about it. It was me, one. She didn't like it, and that type of tease. Now, when I first watched this movie the first time, I didn't catch the common thread throughout this whole movie until I watched it again. And I was like, wait a minute. Yo, he was in all of them. Except for the first one. Except for the first segment. And I'm trying to figure out why. Why he wasn't in the first segment. Okay, the first segment. This with this chick, this thief. And let's just say something happened to her very badly up in the damn bathroom. She gets snatched by some tentacles. Now, with that whole story, it seemed like a throwaway to me. I was like, even right now, I'm just sitting here like, okay, what this got to do with everything? But I think it was there to basically show you how weird that town is, even though I don't know how could folks not understand or see that it was weird on itself. Because in the beginning, there was a scene of this fisherman, checking on his catch of the day, chunk of cage, and he got some tentacle little creature, wiggly waggly up in the cage. So I think we already can, state that Raven's End, the town that this movie is based in, is peculiar. Yeah, it's peculiar. Now, with each segment, with each different story, you jump decades. So the thief, the chick that, gets snatched in the medicine cabinet, through the medicine cabinet, that's happened in the 50s, in the 1950s. Now, we go to the 1960s, and I ain't gonna lie, the 1960s was my favorite one. It was. It was my favorite one. Maybe because what happened to old dude. I don't know. Maybe I didn't think they were gonna do that or go there. Yeah. Now, the 1960s. Okay, so this was this frat boy named Jake, right? And first off, the dude that plays him, he's gorgeous. He is very cute. Now, frat boy Jake, he tossing out condoms and all that stuff, and he preaching to the young freshman women, talking about, the value of sexual liberation, gassing these girls' head up and all that stuff. And let's keep this honest, let's keep this real. Them young tenderoni freshmen and everything, they looking gaga eyes over this tall, sexy piece of white chocolate or whatever, and they like, oh my God, he's for us and everything, sexual liberation, women's liberation, that type of thing. But now he pulling stunts, he pulling shows. It's like this. You motherfuckers speak that game to these girls, get them one in ear, and give them what they want to hear and everything. And in your eyes, you be able to get between them legs quicker. Now, so we see this one chick, this one girl, right? She chillaxing, she doing whatever, she walking on the campus and all that stuff like that. Now, it's a scene in the earlier part of this segment that, there's this wall in this hall, and it basically got this wall plastered with pictures, wanted pictures, not wanted, but missing photos of all these different dudes. Now, when I saw that, I said, wait a minute. So the two, y'all had another serial killer? That's what I thought, right? Oh, no, it was more than that. So We get to the party. Now, you know, Jay, he like the big boy on campus, you know, everything. You know, all the other little minions, they look up to him and yada yada and all that stuff. You know, Jay, he look clean and all that stuff. He, you know, he already know he finna get some booze. And so the girl from earlier in this segment and everything, that, you know, invites to the party or whatnot, you know, she shows up and everything, and she's cute, you know, and then next thing you know, they make eye to eye and they go up to the room, to the upper room. Now they get there, they kiss it and all that stuff, and you know, she's like, "How can you trust me?" Now I'm paraphrasing. How can you trust me? She's like, what you talking about? She said, "I could be a serial killer," and I'm like, "Is this the Tooth Fairy in her early years or some shit?" I'm like, "What's going on?" I like, bruh. You know, and so it was already some kind of air of weirdness around her ass in a darn way. So, you know, listen, Jake don't care. Jake all worried about getting his goddamn dick wet. So, you know, she push on the bed and all that stuff. Now, it's the scene when she's reaching behind herself. I like, this girl is finna pull out a knife and carve his ass from his ass to his appetite. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. But, you know, she calls her bed, get to him and all that stuff, and she pulls out a condom. And she said, safety first. I was like, well, look at you being responsible. And Jake, you know, he feels some kind of way. He like, oh yeah. I like, bro, your game face need to be a little bit more tighter, bro. Just a tinge. Just a tinge. Now you pulled up this front and everything that y'all about for women liberation and sexual liberation and everything. It's a woman's choice or whatever the fuck. And there you go. Look at you. Mm-mm-mm. Sad, sad, sad. So they start, you know, he knows it don't feel the same with the rubber on and all that stuff like that. And so he pulls an okie doke on her and tells her to turn around. So they commence to do doggy style, but he done chunked the condom. And I said, bruh, you done messed up. I don't know what's finna happen. I kind of got an idea what's finna happen, but you done messed up. So after a whole night of passion of in very creative during sexual poses, you know, she leaves like a thief in the night, writes her number on the mirror and everything, and he wakes up and baby, whatever she had, STD or otherwise, it hit quick and it hit his ass hard. Bruh thought he probably had like herpes, quick fast herpes crabs on another level or anything of that nature, a clap, or probably the clap 10 times over. Now, with that, he goes to a doctor, and a doctor is there. His name Dr. Kubler. Remember that name, Kubler, because you're going to hear it again. Now, he gets there and all that stuff like that, and you know, he checks him and all, and you know, put a stethoscope to the stomach, and you know, it's something moving up in there. I was like, she knocked this dude up. She knocked him up. How? So he's trying to find out where she at, where she stay, and all that stuff like that. And you know, he's getting ready to haul ass to find her, to find his baby mama, and all that stuff, literally. And he gets held up by his fraternity brothers, because guess what? He made a milestone. It's a celebration of sleeping with 67 chicks. Now, they had him up in the air in the chairs and all that stuff, and I don't know what happened. I don't know, did his water break, or did he throw up? I really don't know what it was. It just, I didn't know what that was. Came out of him, but it was kind of traumatizing a little bit. So he goes find where homegirl stayed, right? And so the parents are there. The mama is over everything. She's so over it. She's like, Sandra, what the hell I tell you? Now Sandra looking at him. She said, I thought you were the condom. And he like, no, I didn't. And now, man, you listen, he looking rough for wear, face all corroded, looking pimples and everything. And that prosthetic, that belly and all that shit, that looked so wrong. But guess what? I think technically with that little singing him up chucking or whatever or releasing, I think that was his that version of his water breaking. Cause guess what? He's getting ready to pop that baby. And you know, the mama said, it comes out the way it came in. I know you lying. I said, no, it's not. And baby, they when I say I was speechless, 'cause I didn't think y'all were gonna do that. I didn't think we were gonna see something like that. We saw his penis. And it inflated and it exploded and they went the monstrous baby. I was like, I hollered. I ain't gonna lie. And then I started laughing. I did. I started cackling. 'Cause I think it came from the shock of them actually showing that. And I'm like, this is the best damn movie ever. I can't believe y'all showed it. I can't believe y'all showed it. Well, damn. Damn. Now let's get to the next segment. Now, the next segment. Okay, listen. This is in the 70s. Now, this one was sad. I ain't gonna lie. It was sad. It was sad to me. Now, we have a Wendell Owens. He is depressed, right? Because he's been taking care of his comatose wife for years. So, while he's dealing with that whole responsibility of taking care of her, now, mind you, he loved the hell out of her. You know, and they showed scenes of when, you know, they were dating, he proposed, and the wedding, and, you know, to death do us part through sickness and in health. Now, with his sister, not his sister, with his wife being down bad, he had to take the responsibility of taking care of her. Now, he has a doctor that comes and look at it, and the doctor name is who? Dr. Kubler. Now, Dr. Kubler, he kind of suggests that maybe you maybe want to put an extra pain pill up in your wife's green soup, you know, like a suggestion. Now, the thing with Wendell, I could tell he loved her. I do, and I think he was at his wit's end. But I'm like, was there any way for you to put her in a nursing home? And then you had to think, well, you know, hell, in some cases, them nursing homes be worse than hell. You know, so he sets up the dinner for her and all that stuff like that, and you know, he puts the stuff in her green soup, got her sitting up looking pretty and all that stuff, and he feeds it to her. Now he has doubts, he regrets as soon as he gives her that stuff, and then her hand reach out and grab him. First time she done moved in the way it seemed like years. And he's like, oh my God. So he tries to make her, you know, upchuck the painkillers and food and all that stuff like that. She upchucks and her head hits the table where this rabbit, this wild African hare, I think that's what he called it, and everything was there with the pointed ears, and it went straight through her skull. I was like, good goddamn, if she was able to come out her coma, that's it now. You done killed her. You killed her. And so he's freaking out, of course, and he calls the doctor. And the doctor said, you better get rid of that body and don't call my ass no more. I was like, bro, you the one that gave him that suggestion. You knew he was vulnerable. You gave him that suggestion. And so he goes through the task of dismembering his wife's body. And let's just say he's going caca in the head while that's happening, to the point that he's having a hallucinations, and then to the point that when he's in the elevator with the trunk filled with his wife's, you know, chopped up body parts, he's in the elevator. He thinks the elevator is going one way, but it seems like it's going to hell. And while it's doing that, this is one scene that I thought was motherfucking gorgeous. I thought it was beautiful the way they did it. The elevator going so fast down, so naturally, it seemed like everything inside you're gonna lift up in the air. And the way they did it in a slow motion effect, and that he's lifted up in the air. The trunk that got his deceased or wife's body in it, it opens up, and there's a creature. Now, when I was checking out Wikipedia, they call it a ghoul or something like that. And I'm like, when they showed the face, I said, no, that's a fish monster. I said, like, why she look like a fish in the face? I was like, this some Lovecrafty and shit. Listen, tentacles and fish looking face, looking ghoul monster and everything. I'm like, this one look. So y'all slinging some Lovecraft up in here, but she puts the ring back on his finger, and she kisses him. This is talking about the ghoul version of his wife, and you see at the end when the police arrive, he is repeating his wedding vows over and over again, and the corpse is still in the box. So he hallucinated the whole thing. That poor boy, his mind gone. Now, we go back to the frame part, the frame story, which is, Montgomery Dark and Sam. Now, Sam, she don't like these stories. And, it's saying, like, even though the stories may be true, they are too to the nose or predictable. And that, they follow this theme that, people are being punished for their sins. Right? Now, man, you hit Lord, I'm twisting my words. Montgomery Dark, he just got to doing the funeral for this little boy. Little boy that was the victim, the latest victim of the Tooth Fairy Killer. Tooth Fairy Killer? Yeah, the Tooth Fairy Killer. So, they go down to the basement part of the mortuary, right? And so he's getting ready to cremate the little boy. Now, Sam, she like, hold up. And, she confessed that I ain't here for the job, bruh. You know what I'm saying? She said she's here for the kid. And so she decides she gonna tell her story. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. So she said that for the kid. I like, well, that was your brother? You know what I'm saying? That was your brother or some shit? What's going on? So, like, what's her connection with the kid? Now, the last segment, the last individual story of this, before we go back to the frame story that basically close out everything, it's entitled The Babysitter Murders. Right? Now, Sam supposed to be a babysitter. And so she's babysitting a boy named Logan. Logan, that's the boy who was the latest victim of the Tooth Fairy Killer. Now, Logan is the son of Dr. Kubler and his wife. That's that common thread, as you can see. Now, remember I told you each segment is in a different decade. As we all know, the frame story is in the 80s. So, yeah. Now, she's in there. She's getting ready to cook a mean-ass motherfucking meal, right? And Kubler and his wife, they off gone to, like, what, some dinner or some function or some shit. Now, just like all slasher movies dealing with, like, with babysitters and all that stuff like that, we're gonna get some bad weather or whatnot. We'll get darkness and all that and whatnot. And it's always gonna be either some inmate from a prison, some murderous inmate, or a psychotic killer motherfucker who broke out of the institution and stuff. They done busted out and all. That kind of lay down the groundwork for how this gonna go. Now, what's funny is on the TV, there's this movie going on that's basically somehow mimics of what's happening in this segment. Now, while she's there doing her thing, some strange ass dude done busted up in the house with a head wound. He's unsure how he got in. He don't know what the hell going on and all that. And all the time the wife called and she screaming, talking about get the kid, hide and all this stuff like that. Cause she friended cause she done heard about the escape killer. Nah. Do this thing. I knew this is when I started looking at Sam upside her head. Them fight scenes in this one. I'm like, sis, you is strong. Cause these two was fighting. Homegirl Sam was not giving us that old weak, fragile type of, babysitter that's, trying to get away from a killer and everything. She falls or she like finds a way to get one up on them and stab and leave the knife up in them and stuff like that. So the killer could just snatch the knife out of his own body and proceeds to kill the babysitter with her own fucking weapon. Things like that. Baby, when I thought I was watching WWE or WWF, I was like, this hoe is jumping off the side of cabinets and everything, and we are straight up going to town. Now, at the end, when the supposedly killer who busted up in the house asked, where's the boy? And I'm like, why you want to know where's the boy? Now, he done figured out there's a kid up in there and all this stuff like that. And Sam, I guess the way she tried to calm this monster, if you will, she said, you're not a killer. You're not a killer. And he's like, no, he's not. She pushed that man over the back and that dude fell down, a couple of stories. And then she got the TV, which the TV is broadcasting news coverage about, the Tooth Fairy killer. And she throws the TV on and they show when his face connects with that TV, go flat and everything, y'all. And everything. Now, peak game. So, the Kublers, they make it. They make it back home. Bust up in there and all that stuff like that. They see the body of the supposedly crazy man that came that busted out of the dark asylum or whatever. Oh, Lord. They pull the TV back. And guess what? Spoiler. The dude that's dead on the ground is Sam. That's the babysitter. And they smell something burning in the kitchen. You remember, the fake Sam was cooking. They open up that oven door and we see rib cages and stuff. That bitch fricasseed they kid. She made a nice motherfucking. She made a nice spread for him. Listen, she had onions, garlic, celery, tomatoes, and all that stuff. Send that stuff up. Homegirl is the Tooth Fairy killer, and guess what she does? She done killed over 12 kids and everything, and ate them for dinner, breakfast, lunch, and what have you. So her thing is this, being that she the Tooth Fairy killer. So what you think? What you think is her keepsake? She wanna snatch the tooth out of Logan's body. And baby, she decided she gonna kill Montgomery Dark because can't nobody know what's going on. She stabs him, but Montgomery Dark ain't your average mortician. And so, come to find out, all the kids that she killed, all their stories reside in the library of this mortuary. And let's just say them kids been waiting on this bitch. Now, while fake Sam, the killer Sam, is trying to bust out of the funeral home, she go out the door. And then when she run out, she ends up back in. Sealing her faith. So, the spirits of them kids that she killed, they come and they tear her apart. Montgomery, Mr. Dark. You know, he sews her back and all that stuff like that. He gets his hat, his cane, and he's getting ready to walk out. Kind of find out whoever's the mortuary or the funeral director, if you will, the mortician of that darn funeral home. It seems like it's a curse on them. They cannot leave the property until they find somebody to replace them. Montgomery Dark found his replacement. It's her. So as soon as he step out and step off the last step of that house, he blows up. And when he blows up, she wakes up and she takes on the role of the new mortician. Now, it's a little boy that was the paper boy in the beginning. He up in there talking to her. And I like, baby, oh Lord, you finna die. You is finna die. And she's out there dressed in black and all that stuff like that. Looking like some gothic witch or whatnot. And she like, I was hoping you stay for dinner. I like, no, you ain't finna touch that baby. And so that's how it ends. And the way it ends, we could get sequels. And I hope we do. Nah, I don't know about her. Cause I kinda like Clancy Brown character more than her. But who knows? She might grow on me. But here's the thing, like with her, she was always like, the bad guy always wins. In scenarios like this is what she was saying. The bad guys always win. Now, being that she's the new funeral director and all that stuff like that, I wonder, do she still think she winning? Being that she can't leave the house. Or nothing like that. She can't die till she find a replacement and all that stuff. But like, how you gonna lure kids up in there to fricassee them up at the kitchen and everything, make you a nice stew? I don't know. But listen, the Mortuary Collection was everything. It was so good. And I'm gonna need y'all to go get that Shudder and watch it. Y'all will be very, 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 very pleased. It was good. It was real good. I ain't gonna lie. It was very fucking good. But that's it, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below. Tell me what y'all thought about the Mortuary Collection. And what movies y'all want me to review and everything. Things are getting back to normal around here with me and my mom. She's feeling better. So you're going to be seeing more videos from me. I got to play catch up. Y'all know this is October. This is my month. But I'm out. And also, like I said before, I am a published writer now. Get that engine. Bruh. By Stella J. That's me. It's a short read. And listen, we got what? We got the ferryman of the dead. We got witches and we got monsters and all kinds of things and what have you. But I'll holler at y'all heathens later. Y'all be good. Bye.